And we're back. And I was just doing a little terraforming and pathing and making paths and stuff, and I realized when I logged in that this is probably not something that you want to watch me do. Let's put some of this stuff back away here. So much sand. Yeah, the sulfur cubes are glitching out again. I came in here and there's one. And he was a baby one. Okay, let's make this one. Let's divide him into two. No. Stop glitching! I don't know what else I can say or do. But anyway. Yeah, I brought all the dogs inside because it was raining outside earlier, and it's a little crowded, but, you know, I don't want my dogs to get all wet, so let's just go and put some of this stuff up. And I figured I'd do something a little bit different today. I've been putting this off for a while because I already made an episode on finding parrots, but I want more parrots. And this will give us a chance to look at the fully deforested jungle over here. Earlier today, I completed this. We saw some leaf blocks that are refusing to despawn. But that's okay, because they will eventually. And if they don't, then I'll pay them a visit. But this right here is the parrot jungle. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to land on top of a tree. And we're going to see what we can see. It's weird being in a jungle now, after I just spent so much time completely removing a jungle. And over here, there's a whole other jungle. You know, I just don't feel too bad. It's going for a good cause, you know. A golf course. A golf course is a beautiful thing. Way more productive and useful than a jungle. Or a rainforest, as some people like to call it. Oh, it's a rainforest. It's so beautiful. Why don't you go live in it then? Because I'll tell you what, it's a jungle. You want to call it a rainforest and make it sound nicer? Go right ahead. You spend 2 seconds in an actual rainforest, and then you're going to be covered in mosquitoes, and snakes will be crawling up your legs, and spiders will be landing in your hair, and you'll be crying and saying, "Get me out of this rainforest! Don't chop down the rainforest. It's a beautiful rainforest." Oh, look, we have a little cavern, a spooky cavern. Well, hopefully I haven't removed all the parrots from here and they'll never spawn in here again. That doesn't seem logical. Oh, I heard something. My keen frog ears have detected the sound of a parrot. Where are you, parrot? I heard you. Oh, there's a stupid cat up in the tree. No doubt looking for a baby squirrel to torture. Yeah, I was on my usual long walk the other day, and I found something interesting beside the road. I had no idea what it was. It's like a big gas canister. It looked almost like a fire extinguisher, only it was brightly colored, and it had a weird-looking nozzle on it. I thought, what kind of weird thing is this? And I didn't pick it up or anything. I just looked at it for a little bit, and I just left it there. And I just recently found out what that thing was. Have you guys ever heard of a thing called galaxy gas? Evidently, it's all the rage with the teenagers today. You remember those whippets that kids used to do back in high school back in the day? That's all this is, only it's like a big gigantic whippet, and it's very convenient because it has a little mouthpiece on it. They come in different flavors, and it's super easy for children to abuse this thing. Oh, it's actually meant to flavor your whipped cream. Like if you were gonna make a million servings of whipped cream, and you really needed a huge gas container like this for that, which is a bunch of baloney. The people who manufacture these things, they know what they're doing. Oh, let's make this little thing for kids to get high on. I mean, it's bad enough these kids are brain damaged enough with all the cultural rot. Now they have to have galaxy gas on top of it. Well, it's not enough to legalize marijuana and put kids on all kinds of mood-altering drugs. Let's give them some galaxy gas, too. Seems sort of strange to me that this stuff is legal. You know, there's so many crazy things that are legal, but Texas is still, you can't have marijuana. And I'm not a big marijuana guy. I just think that marijuana should be legal for medical purposes, because I've had friends who've had children who have seizure problems, and these seizure problems were completely cured by a little bit of the old ganja. So I think that medical marijuana is a good thing. I think that it's all natural. It's not habit forming. You know, I smoked some pot when I was a teenager. It didn't do any damage to me other than make me want to eat food. Oh, look, here we go. Here's a parrot. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful parrot. Here you go. Eat some seeds. There you go. And now we got a parrot. Now we just need another one. That way I can have parrots in stereo on my shoulders. Oh, look at this. Yeah, you can tell I've been up here slashing at the undergrowth. Otherwise, there wouldn't be all these stumps laying around. Okay, well, I think we're going to go around this way. Maybe we'll find some parrots. I could have swore I heard one earlier. Over here. You know, all these jungles in this world, I still have yet to run into Axl Rose in any of these jungles. And wasn't he the one who's always telling us, you know, welcome to the jungle? I mean, I figured for sure he'd be in the jungle somewhere, because he's always welcoming people to it. Axl Rose. Yes. He's another one of these rockers that really should just retire. Along with Motley Crue. Along with David Lee Roth. There's a bunch of rockers out there. Once you reach a certain age, you should have your rocker card taken away from you, at least for live performances. I mean, it's pretty sad. Who wants to go see a bunch of geezers on stage trying to relive their glory days and doing a terrible job of all their songs? I mean, they absolutely butcher all their songs. I don't know if the Rolling Stones are still doing it, but I had the pleasure of seeing the Rolling Stones back when I was a senior in high school. My friend Greg, he was really big on the Rolling Stones, and I didn't like him. I was more of a Metallica guy. And Greg, he liked Aerosmith, and he liked the Rolling Stones. Well, Bird, I guess we're just going to head back with you, because I'm not seeing any more parrots around here. I saw something the other day, too, that I thought was pretty entertaining. It came up on my news feed. 1970, Black Sabbath performing at some British hall or something. And I can... Oh, my bed isn't here. Oh, yay. But yeah, I can see why Ozzy Osbourne was a thing. Good old Ozzy. When he was all young. You know who he reminds me of when he was really young? He reminds me of Mike Patton from Faith No More. Did our bird follow us? No, he did not. I'm going to have to go back and get him, I guess. Well, there's a bed up here. We can go through the whole skyscraper. You can see all the different floors I put in. Where'd I hide the bed? I put it over here. Well, hopefully my bird's still back over there waiting for me. Is it off in this direction? Yes, he should be over here. You around here, bird? Yep, I hear him. There he is. Yeah, I wish birds could follow you across the water a little bit better than they do. I guess I don't have a boat on me. I guess I'll just have to make one real quick. But this is Minecraft. We can make boats. That's the great thing about Minecraft. Of course, I can't make a boat as fast as Dream can. Making a boat while he's falling from a tower and then landing in it. I don't know. If I didn't know better, I'd say that was kind of faked. But I'm not going to accuse Dream of being fake or a cheater or anything, because I don't know. And I'd like to think that he's that good. Okay, we got our parrot on our shoulder now. There's our buddy. We're going to take him and set him in there with our other parrots. I'd like to have a lot more parrots. I feel like I don't have enough parrots. Like if I just had a few more parrots, I would truly be a wealthy man. Of course, that's how I feel like in real life when it comes to dogs. I feel like people who have a lot of dogs are really wealthy. The more dogs you have, the wealthy you are. Sort of like the old Arabs were with horses, where your wealth was measured by how many sheep you had or goats you had. So let's take our boy over here to his new home. He should be quite pleased. And here's the gates of Canyon Lake. I need to put something out here. I'm not quite sure what's going to be beyond the city walls. Come on, bird. You silly bird. Yeah, still got a lot of mossing and grassing and all kinds of stuff to do to this place. Plus, I'm going to, probably in the next episode, I'm going to be building some custom trees. You see, I'm holding off on the last couple buildings on the other side of the lake because I kind of want to wait until we get concrete slabs and stairs and all that fun stuff. Well, what am I doing? This is the parrot house. Yes, welcome to your new home, parrot. And all I have to do to get him off my shoulder is just a jump like this. And there he goes. Yes, now you're sitting down like a good boy. Now scoochy, scoochy. Scoochy on over. I got all the different kinds of parrots, but I want more. Yes, I feel like I can never have enough parrots. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and pop a music disc in. These guys, they need to sing. Yes. Their favorite tune, Chirp. Yes, it's very nice. Yeah, see with my elytra on, these parrots all think I'm one of them because I have elytra on. Oh yes, and the next task for me, other than doing a bunch of terraforming around this place, is I do want to take down some of these hills. You know, I'm not gonna flatten the whole place up, but this is entirely too hilly for a golf course. You know? And there are going to be these disembodied vines. Wait a second, did I see a bush? Yes, I did. Oh, looks like I missed one, folks. Be gone. Be gone, foul jungle tree. There we go. I also need to build a camel house. I got 2 camels, and I got 2 camels out here in the wild. So I could have 4 camels. Now, I'm not going to build them something huge and fancy, but I figured one of these houses in Canyon Lake would be a fine place to move them in, you know. But yeah, this is going to give me a lot of grass blocks. And I do like to have some grass blocks. I'm going to need them. Got a lot of grassing to do over at Canyon Lake. It can't all be moss because then it'd be too much of one color, you know. They got to have different colors of grass. I kind of wish that the grass would retain its color from the biome you removed it from. Wouldn't that be cool? Then you could have a huge palette of different colored grasses. But no. They all conform to whatever biome they're planted down in. But maybe one of these days Mojang will get it right and realize that the grass is not going to change color just because you moved it from a jungle to a desert. The jungle grass looks gorgeous. Meanwhile, desert grass, not so much. That's why we use moss. We use moss and mix it in with it, make it look a little bit better. See, whenever I shave a layer like this off, I like to wait for the grass to spread inwards. Because I'd rather be picking up grass blocks than dirt blocks. And there's going to be a lot of this too, a lot of stone I'm going to have to remove and put grass in its place. But this is going to be a golf course, so it's going to have a lot of grass. I'm going to have some sand dunes for bunkers, you know. Got plenty of sand for that. And we're going to have some water hazards. It's too bad we can't get an old crocodile to come out here and live on the golf course. It would feel like a real Florida golf course, wouldn't it? There's my lovely cave down there. I'm sure I've shown you guys my cave. That was pretty early on. I don't think I lit it up on camera, but I did give you guys a tour after I'd already done it. Would you guys like to see that? Would you like to see more of me putting myself in danger and exploring caves and stuff? Just let me know in the comments. I'm willing to do pretty much anything as long as it's entertaining. I say as I mine a bunch of grass blocks. Yep, I'm an entertainer. That's what I am. That's why I'm doing the boringest possible thing. Look at all that stinking leaf litter. Get out of my inventory, leaf litter. Here, I'll prevent any more leaf litter. In fact, I'll get rid of those grass seeds too. There we go. Now I can't possibly suck up anything that isn't a grass block. That's all the little bleepity bloops get sucked into me there and fill my pockets. Wouldn't that be a great thing if you could do that in real life? You know, say you drop a whole bunch of nails on the ground. Me being a carpenter, that's the first example that comes to mind. Say you have a cup and you're holding a bunch of screws in it for a job, and then the cup falls over and the screws go everywhere. Well, instead of bending down and scooping all the screws up, you could just walk over them and they would just magically get sucked up into you. The joys of Minecraft. Okay, I think this is enough grass blocks for now. I'll do more of this off camera. I just realized that this is probably more off camera kind of stuff. Let me head back over here to where I placed my bed. Yeah. You know, I've heard that the new update's coming out September the 15th. That's what I've heard. Do you see this retarded rabbit over here? Look at him. This whole time I've been over here, he's been sitting out there just trying his level best to get in through that trap door. This stupid idiot. Look at him. Oh, what kind of a jerk is this rabbit? Hey, rabbit, you can't get in there. Stop it. What's the matter with you? Yeah, did somebody drop you on your cute little head when you were a bunny? Yes, go elsewhere. He really wants to get in there. He's like, I'm just sure I can fit through this hole. Lose some weight, rabbit. You're going to have to slim down quite a bit before you can get in there. Yeah, you think I might be just doing this on camera, but I actually do this when I'm playing the game. I go over and I talk to animals and I have fun. And that's all this is this is just recreating what I would normally do because I don't know what else to do. I've given up trying to figure out what people want to see. And I figured I'm just going to do what I do and have fun doing it. And maybe that'll translate into people being interested. Yes, we got a whole bunch of sand. It's okay. I shouldn't be so weird about getting all the blocks because... There we go. Now I can pick them up. Because I got more sand than a man knows what to do with. Ah, I just heard a scoot drop. How many is that now? Almost 2 stacks. You see, I've stopped having the armadillos reproduce. I figured that's enough of them, don't you think? You know, I don't need a huge farm. It's not like I'm on Hermitcraft and I'm selling them for diamonds or something. Yeah, all I can do is hope and pray that a pillager raiding party comes along here and provides us with some excitement. But this is just what I gotta do. The question is, can I wait till September 15th? I don't know if I can. I might just have to do what I'm doing and wait for the new update and build something else somewhere else, because I gotta tell you, I really want to get Canyon Lake finished so I can breed up the villagers and have all the villagers move into their new houses. Yes, it's coming along nicely. It takes a while, but in the end, it's worth it. We want this to be an oasis. We want this to be a nice little green area away from the desert. We're in the middle of the desert. Now, along these edges, what I like to do, like right here, it needs this. But here we can go with that, and go with that. And I like to extend this down just a little bit. That way it looks a little bit like the grass is not just on the very top, you know, on the very surface. In this way, that gives the illusion that the grass is actually deeper. It goes a little bit further down. I just love that. Every time I sprint, I hear my armadillos all panic. They all curl up in their shells and they freak out. Stupid armadillos. But they're cute. I wonder if it's true that armadillos carry leprosy, because that's what I heard. Of course, I I heard that when I was young. And there's other things that I heard when I was young that I believed that turned out to not be true. Like when my buddy Alvin told me that if I swallowed a watermelon seed, that the watermelon would grow in my stomach and I would look like a pregnant lady. Turned out that wasn't true, but it sure kept me from eating watermelons for a long time. And then there's my friend Robert, who told me that the way a woman gets pregnant is if a man spits in her belly button. More childhood untrue nonsense. But wouldn't that be hilarious if that was actually how you had a family? Honey, it's time for us to go on our honeymoon. Prepare yourself. I'm going to spit in your belly button and we're going to have a boy. Or a girl. You gotta love that. Yeah, I didn't have the kind of parents that would explain that kind of stuff like the birds and the bees when I was a little kid, because my parents were Amish. And they were Amish. I'm not sure exactly how long they were Amish or when exactly they broke away from the Amish church. All I know is that I spoke Pennsylvania Dutch up until I was 7 years old. And, to be honest, I can still understand when Germans are talking to each other. I can still understand at least half of what they're saying. Sort of like Spanish. I've been living in Texas long enough now where I can understand about half of what my Mexican friends are saying when they think that they're talking behind my back in front of me. You know? I'm not just some ignorant gringo. I'm almost fluent in quite a few languages. When I was a little kid, I got these how to speak Russian cassettes at a yard sale. This is right about the time I was also learning to paint from Bob Ross. And so I learned a little Russian too. I don't know why. I pictured that someday I might need it as a spy, you know. I was about that age where the prospect of being a spy, working for the federal government, spying on the commies, had a lot of appeal to me. But not that realistic of a goal. Of course, I didn't realize back then that the real communist threat that was going to be rearing its ugly head was going to be from China, not Russia. And that Russia would end up being just as free, if not freer, than Americans. All right, let's go and put these in here for now. Anyway, I've been yapping long enough. I want to thank you guys for stopping by, and I hope to see y'all next time. I'll see you later.